So that was a little preview of my home office. Still have a lot to do, like I still don't know what to put up on this wall, and I still got to figure out my whole home networking thing because I want to be able to work on 2 computers at the same time. That'd be kind of cool. A little confusing, I know, but I have a plan. I have a plan. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about Sony's camera line, at least the prosumer cameras that are out, mainly because the Sony A1 or the Sony Alpha 1 just came out last week, but at the same time, the Sony A7S III recently came out as well. And so it might be confusing for many of you trying to decide which Sony camera to get. So I'm gonna try my very best to explain the entire Sony camera line to help you decide which Sony camera to get. All right, do I need notes? I need notes, right? No, I'm just gonna wing it. All right, so first up in Sony's camera line is their point and shoot compact cameras. That's the Sony RX100 series and the Sony ZV-1. You could probably throw in the Sony RX0, which is kind of like their GoPro equivalent, but we'll throw that camera into that group. Basically, these group of cameras are for your ordinary, everyday people. It's for people that don't wanna mess around with interchangeable lenses and just wanna turn on the camera and just take good photos and good video. So if you're a grandparent, a parent, and uncle, and you want to take some really good family photos and videos, then these cameras might be good for you. Maybe not the RX0, I guess that's more for like action-related kind of content. So maybe the RX100 series and the Sony ZV-1 are more suitable for family events. This is actually a pretty good option for vloggers as well, whether you are starting off vlogging or if you are a veteran vlogger. Like I personally know vloggers that just like using the camera as it is. Like they don't really care about having interchangeable lenses or adding a microphone. They're just quite content using the camera and just turning it on and just vlogging their life. And for the record, I personally used the Sony ZV-1 and shot some really decent footage. Like I was actually quite impressed with that camera. In fact, the Sony ZV-1 is probably my favorite out of the bunch, mainly because of the good color science, the flip out screen, and the insane autofocus. Like it is so good. Like if you're doing a top-down shot and you're making a product review video, like it'll track whatever product that you're holding and just stay consistently focused the entire time. So if you already have a camera and you're looking for a top-down camera to do those top-down shots, then I would definitely check out the Sony ZV-1 because it is really good. In fact, I sold mine last year to get the iPhone 12 Pro, but I kind of regret it. In fact, I really regret it. So I might buy another one after I film this video. Wow, I just sold myself on a camera. All right, next up is Sony's APS-C camera line. These are cameras like the Sony a6000, the a6100, and a6600. There are other APS-C cameras in that group. Like I started out with the Sony a6300, really good camera. I think it was the first small compact camera that shot in 4K, which blew a lot of people's minds and really introduced me to Sony's cameras. Like that's crazy, like that camera literally changed my life. That camera helped me become a YouTuber. That's nuts. But this group of cameras have interchangeable lenses. And so you can swap out a wide angle lens to a prime lens to a telephoto zoom lens. Like you could literally stick with one of these camera bodies and buy a bunch of lenses to change out your look. So if you started out with the Sony compact cameras like the ZV-1 and RX100, and you kind of want to change it up and start shooting with a prime lens or a wide lens, then the Sony APS-C camera line is your next step up. Of all the cameras in the APS-C camera line, the a6600 is the top dog. Like it's a really good APS-C camera. I got bigger grip, you can use the Sony Z batteries, really good color science, has a flip up screen and performs incredibly well. So if you're looking for a relatively inexpensive camera, but you also want the ability to change up your lenses, then definitely consider one of these APS-C cameras. And if you can, check out the Sony a6600. That camera is freaking awesome. Oh man, I think I just sold myself and get into a6600 again. What is wrong with me? All right, the next group is, it's kind of a weird group because, well, there are 2 entry-level full-frame cameras, and that's the Sony a7 III and the Sony a7C. The a7 III has your typical full-frame camera body. Like I've shot with it for the past couple of years. I don't have it anymore, but it's a fantastic camera. The downside of the a7 III is that you have a 30-minute record time limit. That's really inconvenient, especially if you're using it to shoot interviews or if you're filming YouTube monologues like this. It also has a flip-up screen, which I don't really mind, but if you want a fully articulating, rotating screen, then this camera may not be for you. However, the a7C kind of fixes the problems the a7 III has. First, it has better color science, like the photos and videos coming out of the a7C look good, like real good. Don't get me wrong, footage and photos coming from the A7 III look good as well, but when you compare them side by side, like the stuff coming from the A7C just looks more natural. Second, there is no record time limit on the A7C, which makes it an ideal camera for a studio setup, kind of like this. And of course, you've got the flip out screen, which is going to help you compose your shot. Like when you're filming yourself, it's always helpful to have a flip out screen where you don't have to attach a secondary monitor to compose your shot. But if you don't really care about the flip out screen and you'd much rather use an actual monitor, then hey, more power to you. Now the A7C might seem like the more superior camera, but there are some things that I don't really like about the A7C, like the EVF. It sucks. It's really bad. It's like this tiny little EVF that you can barely see your shot. All right, hold on, let me backtrack. The EVF itself does not suck. It's just the eye cup, it's kind of non-existent. Like when you're taking photos, it is way better to have a bigger eye cup so that you can fit your eye and just kind of see the whole image. But with the A7C, because there literally is no eye cup, you kind of have to like dig your eye into the EVF to actually see the image properly. Where the A7 III has the bigger eye cup, which makes that camera the better photography camera, in my opinion. Dang it. I want to get an A7C now. All right, so next up is what I would call Sony's premium camera line. That's the Sony A7S series, the Sony A7R series, and the Sony A9 series. All these cameras are really excellent cameras, but are designed to specialize in certain areas. For example, the Sony A7S series specializes shooting in low light, hence the letter S for sensitivity. The A7R series specializes in shooting high resolution photos, hence the letter R for resolution. And also, this camera is very capable of shooting really good 4K video, but really it's specialized for high resolution photography. And finally, the A9 series is designed for speed. And so if you're a sports photographer, if you're a wildlife photographer, if you're a journalist, if you're a creative that just can't afford to miss the shot, then the A9 series is your camera. Just like the A7R series, the A9 cameras can also shoot 4K video, but really it's more specialized to take photos fast, like really fast. And now we have a brand new camera from Sony, and that is the Sony Alpha 1, which combines everything that the A7S cameras and the A7R cameras and the A9 cameras have to offer, packaged into one camera body. It is the ultimate camera in the Sony Alpha camera line. Like if you really want the perfect hybrid camera that takes incredible photos and incredible videos, like the Sony Alpha 1 is your camera. It's a little bit expensive, but it's the camera that does it all. Now, mind you, this is Sony's flagship camera, so of course it's going to be expensive, and of course it's going to have all the bells and whistles. No, it's still not the perfect camera. It may not be the perfect camera for you. In fact, I don't think it's the camera for me. It might be too much of a camera. Also, it's pretty dang expensive. I got kids, man. But if you really are looking for the perfect hybrid camera that does everything well, and you don't mind the high price tag, then the Sony Alpha 1 is probably your camera. And last but not least is Sony's cinema camera line, and that's the Sony FX6, FX9, and Venice cameras. These are like full-fledged production cameras, and so if video production is your main line of work, then these are the cameras to get, and maybe not so much the cameras in the Sony Alpha line. But the really cool thing with Sony's cinema cameras and Sony's Alpha series and even Sony's APS-C camera line, they all have the same E-mount system. So that means you can use any E-mount lens, whether it's a Sony E-mount lens or a Sigma E-mount lens, any E-mount lens, and use it in any one of these camera bodies, except for the Sony compact cameras. Obviously, that's not interchangeable. But from Sony's APS-C camera line all the way up to the cinema line, like you can use any E-mount lens in any one of those cameras, and that's freaking incredible. Mind you, if you are using an APS-C E-mount lens on a full frame camera body, then your image is going to be cropped, just so you are aware, but you technically can use any E-mount lens on the entire E-mount system. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Well, hopefully I explained the entire Sony camera line to you. I don't know if I did. Let me know if I'm missing anything down in the comments below. But yeah, hopefully this video helps you decide which Sony camera to get if you're looking into getting into the whole Sony ecosystem. No, we're not gonna count the Sony Handycams. Sorry, dads, we're not gonna count them. And no, I do not have the Sony A1 yet. Soon, hopefully soon, and when I have it in my hands, then I will make a review video on it. But thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, thumbs up, subs, hit the bell buttons down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.